folks, welcome to this list analysis of Oxcasts with myself, Lawrence, and Mr. Bo.
Hello.
So I'm going to tell you about my upcoming list that I'm building.
Very cool.
I've got a couple of little variations on it, so I'll be able to do a couple of little things, but I'm building approximately 2,200 points of my Flesh Terrors.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to fielding them. This is going to be my personal passion project, if you like.
Yeah.
I don't want to alarm anyone.
Okay.
But the list I'm presenting today is 2,000 points on the nose.
Very good. It's very good.
So would you like me to tell you my list and then we go over, you know, what you think of it?
Yeah, you do the list first. I'll just listen.
Right. It is a dual battalion.
Very good. A dual what?
A dual battalion.
Very good. Yeah. Ah, yes! Hello! Good morning. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Ah, yes.
I do feel that you need a dual battalion.
Yes. And I do feel
Angels.
that you must always say battalion, especially in these times.
Especially in these times.
I need that joy in my heart.
Well, this is like day 8 of quarantine with you, so
yeah.
I have nothing left in my heart anymore. Right, so what we have is, I've got a theme to my Flesh Terrors, because remember, whilst I want it to be semi-competitive, you know, semi-casual competitive, so as in I can face everything and give it at least a fun game, I'm not necessarily building this to be the best tournament winning thing. However, I think this is quite an interesting list.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a theme. I see that there are 2 captains in the Flesh Terrors. We are part of the new Primaris reinforcements that Gabriel Seth finally accepted.
Yeah.
Because there was like less than 100 Marines, so they needed something.
They
did. So there are 2 captains. One is like the Warlord, the leader, and the other one is one that's fallen to the Death Company, but he's got a really interesting story. I think he's going to be a bit of a Mephiston-esque character. He keeps surviving, and it looks he might break the back of the Black Rage. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait to do some narratives.
All right.
Right, so we've got, the first is the captain. He is the Warlord.
Yeah.
He has got Artisan of War.
Very good.
So that's the Blood Angel Warlord trait. It gives him +1 damage to a non-relic weapon. In this case, it is, of course, a Thunderhammer. I might do it as just a big Eviscerator.
Cool.
He's got a Storm Shield. He's got a Jump Pack. This is your classic Smash Captain. The other one would have Hammer of Baal normally. This is a part where I'll hold off on that. I was about to go off on a rant. I will then go on to my second HQ, which is a Sanguinary Priest.
Very nice.
Chainsword, Jump Pack, and Sorrow's Genesis, which is a Flesh Terror relic. It enables me to just bring back there's a stratagem where you can do your Narthesium ability twice. This replaces your Narthesium, and what the Sanguinary Priest does with Sorrow's Genesis is it allows me to bring you back on a 2+, which is quite cool. So it makes his ability much better. Also, because he's a Sanguinary Priest, he gives a +1 strength to my units within 6 inches. Which is, again, really quite neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm just going to bring up the Sorrow's Genesis as well, because, as I recall, Sorrow's Genesis also allows you to just bring back, give a flat 3 wounds back to a model.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because it's cool. Because it's Sorrow's Genesis, and it is a Flesh Terror relic, so you're like, I did want to use some of the Flesh Terror only stuff. So, yeah, so obviously Blood Chalice, because Sanguinary Priest give that +1 strength, is going to be really, really neat. But Sorrow's Genesis, a model with the relic loses the Narthesium ability. At the end of your movement phase, the model can provide medical attention to 1 friendly Flesh Terror's infantry or Flesh Terror's unit within 3 inches. Yeah, select one of those models to regain 3 lost wounds. I just wanted to make sure I was right before I said that. So you just regain 3 lost wounds. So if he's near the captain or whatever and someone's wounded, let's go, bling! Magic wand. Or otherwise, it's 2+, they return to the battlefield with 3 lost wounds.
Right.
which is awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it's a good relic for the Flesh Terrors. But, you know, let's move on now. So next I have in that battalion 3 units of Incursors.
Yeah.
So these are with their paired combat blades and the Oculus Carbine.
Infiltrating for days.
Infiltrating for days. I think with the boat of attacks that they have, because they all kick out quite a lot of attacks, mixed with you know, your standard +1 to wound, and then with the Flesh Terror's ability of the -1 rend on 6s. I actually think that's pretty cool. I think they're pretty, you know, they're all right in combat. These will clear a lot of screens, and unlike scouts, they're actually pretty resilient as well. So they've got lots and lots of lots of shots with their guns, ignoring cover, because you know, rapid fire, and
good for screening out.
Good for screening out as well. And I want to start as near to the opponent as possible. It feels quite Flesh Terrors too.
Yeah.
Then I have Sanguinary Ancients.
Yeah.
Now I have spent a CP to take, well, I've actually spent 2 CP to take 2 additional relics.
Sure.
So 3 CP rather. On top of that, just for the luxury of having a Blood Angel relic, I have to spend a CP.
Yeah.
To be honoured by Baal. Now this galls me. This upsets me, because why is the successor chapter being punished?
Because they're not.
We're already punished. We can't take any of the special
It's on loan
characters.
though, isn't it? So
it's not on
like,
loan.
Like
we should just be allowed to use the relics.
It's like when you go to a library and they say, and you've got.
What are you, a librarian?
No.
Well then.
No, but the guy who is probably handing out the relics probably is.
Well, he should. We saved the Blood Angels. You know, when Baal was being destroyed by the Tyranids.
That's why you're lucky to get even any. But normally you'd get 0. But because you did a good job, you can have, but you got to pay for it.
So I've now got the Standard of Sacrifice, which will give me my aura of 5+. Feel no pain. Also, the Sanguinary Ancient allows you to re-roll the wounds rolls of 1 in the fight phase, which is quite neat. Plus, he's a bit of a beast himself. I have given him an Encarmine axe.
Cool.
And he's got his Angelus Boltgun. Then I have a max blob of Sanguinary Guard. Now, all of these guys are going to be converted to be Primaris. I've got the conversion bits in mind. I've been doing some blue tack tests. I think that this will end up being a really, really cool project. I've got a bit of a Phobos theme going throughout the army, which I won't give away too much, but let's just say that it will be very much a dark mirror of where the Blood Angels are all nice and bright and shiny, with, you know, things like Sanguinary Guard will be like a dark mirror, but or like a twisted reflection of it. It's going to be very, very cool. So the 10 Sanguinary Guard, I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 axes in there and 5 swords.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to have various options. I'm going to build 13 of them, so some will have power fists as well. I will be able to swap out those options as required, but for the purposes of this list, I just want the weight of attacks. I know the fists are amazing, but now that I've got the stratagem to just do a flat 2 damage, and I can hit reliably, because if I'm within 6 inches of a Warlord, I'm re-rolling my hits, being Sanguinary Guard.
Yep.
I just want the weight of attacks, and they'll do the damage that way. I want just my characters to take out larger tanks. Then we go on to my 2nd battalion. I have the Death Company captain. So he has got Death Visions of Sanguinius on there. I have spent a CP to give him Wrath and Rage. Now, Cretation Born is the one of the other Flesh Terror Warlord traits, which perhaps it's a mistake that I'm not taking that because it ignores Overwatch. And obviously I don't have the Angel's Wing here because I've already been honoured by Baal to take the Standard of Sacrifice. So I've not got any Ignore Overwatch in the army. I'll just have to rely on, you know, charging from behind line of sight, blocking terrain or something like that.
Sure.
But of Wrath and Rage synergizes well with this guy because when resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by the Warlords, an unmodified hit roll of 6, I can make 1 additional attack against the same unit using the same weapon.
Right.
And what I've done is I've given him the Flesh Terror Relic, Severer of Threads.
Okay.
And it replaces the Chainsword.
Right.
And what Severer of Threads does is when the bearer fights, he makes D3 additional attacks. It's +1 strength, -1. When resolving an attack made with this weapon against an infantry unit, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts a mortal wound in addition. So he's just like a horde killer.
Yeah.
So, you know, 6 is exploding, and
That's
you know,
cool.
he's just an absolute beast. Plus D3 attacks with several threads. Pretty fluffy Death Company captain, just going in and hacking everything up. Then we have a chaplain with the Canticle of Hate, bolt pistol, jump pack.
Cool.
Okay, he'll be useful because of if the Canticle goes off, I get the bonuses to charge there. Plus, you know, obviously I can do the reroll hits as well.
Yeah.
Not that I will need it that often, I think, but I'm not sold on him 100% because he's not reliable.
That's the first one I've just kind of go,
He's not very reliable, but he's going to be a cool character. I've got another list which is 2,000 points, which replaces him with a Librarian Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, cool.
But we'll talk about that list another time.
Yeah.
Then I've got 3 more units of Incursors. So I've got, you know, 30 Incursors in total here.
Yeah.
Then I have a max blob of Death Company. Or when I say max blob, it's 13, sorry. I couldn't quite fit in 15. However, 3 of them do have Thunder Hammers.
Right.
Okay, and the rest have Chainswords, and you can have bolters or bolt pistols. I think this unit will do damage. You know, I can do Forlorn Fury, or I can hide them turn 1 and redeploy. Sometimes I can do the same with the Sanguinary Guard. Just start them on the board and redeploy them, and then go for the 3d6-inch charge. Yeah, look, Death Company do what they say on the tin. It does suck that I'm going to convert them like their Primaris, but obviously they only have the 1 wound, so they do die quite easily. But I've got to make the best of a bad situation. And I picture that my Death Company captain always leads the blob with Death Company in. Then I have 3 Invicta Warsuits with the Incendium Cannons, the Heavy Bolters, Fragstorm Grenade Launchers, and Iron Hail Heavy Stubbers. 2,000 points on the nose. I think a fluffy Flesh Terror list, but some people will argue the Sanguinary Guard don't exist yet. They don't have Sanguinary Guard, but they've just been reinforced with all the Primaris. And I've got the fluff. I don't want to run a Blood Angels army and not have the iconic units.
Sure.
You know?
Sure, 100%.
And I'm not going to just do Sanguinary Guard spam to try and be ultra competitive, because that's boring.
Yeah.
I want to have a bit of everything. I want to have
some flavour.
I want some flavour. So the Invicta Warsuits, I think, will provide a lot of extra pressure with all of the Incursors. I'm definitely up for replacing them with like dreadnoughts in dreadnought drop pods down the line, or putting in some firepower elements for sure. But for the moment, I'm building that because it's a very combat centric army.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure. I do think I've got a few weaknesses.
Yes.
I don't have as much anti-tank as I would like.
No, but you can fix that.
How would you fix that?
I just put Power Fists on all of my Sanguinary Guard.
Would you not think the Sanguinary Guard will wreck most tanks anyway?
Well, what's the strength with your axes? I know you're strength
plus
4 only with your swords.
Yeah, well, the axe gives you +1 strength, and
So
then if
you
you're near your
5.
priest,
So you're wounding most vehicles on 4s.
yeah, because of the +1 to wound.
Sure. So
And I'm rerolling 1s to wound, and I don't have a -1 to hit because I'm not using a Power Fist then.
yeah.
Not convinced?
I still would go to Power Fist personally, because you put, like, say you come up against a knight, you put all of those attacks in there. What is it with the also with this? Because how many attacks do your Sanguinary Guard have base? 2.
Well, 2 base.
2 base.
Yeah.
So
and then
3
you've
with
got your
shock assault.
Yeah.
And then when you get to turn 3, there'll be 4. Because with the echoes.
Yeah,
right.
Savage Echoes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 4. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But that's.
So I mean, that's
3.
only from turn 3.
Yeah, exactly. 3. I think through. Yeah, you. No, I'd go the Power Fist. But also, if I'm running the Sanguinary Guard, and I understand this does not fit in your army, so I completely get it. But I would, if we were talking about it more competitively, maybe paint up the Sanguinor so you can take him out for a spin as well. Do a conversion of him.
But I can't because I'm a Flesh Terror army.
So they can't have the Sanguinor?
I think they should. I think that all Blood Angel successors
have...
should be able to use the Sanguinor.
Yeah, well, because... Okay, so that I didn't know. But how can you have Sanguinary Guard and not the Sanguinor?
Well, the Sanguinor is his own mysterious dude. Some people think he's a shard of psychic presence of Sanguinius himself.
Yeah, I mean,
some people think he's Azkelion, who's like the first Sanguinary Guard captain. It's like
difficult to know.
It's very difficult.
Difficult
to
know.
The point is that if he
mysterious.
is this mysterious figure, a bit like the Legion of the Damned, he would come to appear to all sons of Sanguinius. Flesh Terrors are sons of Sanguinius.
But maybe not. And actually, that's why you don't get the relics for free. It was him. He kind of said, because everyone says he doesn't talk. He spoke a couple of times. And one of the times he spoke, he says, make sure the Flesh Terrors don't get in our relics. And they were like, why? And he just goes, I've spoken. And he just leaves. Maybe that's it.
Well, maybe he's due a headbutt from one of the Flesh Terrors then. You know, because that's actually what they would do.
If only had a relic to make his headbutt good.
Yeah.
No, look, I really like the list. I like the pressure. Yeah. I think you're right. It needs a little bit less of, a little bit more anti-tank.
Yeah.
I think the chaplain, I'd bin him off and I'd put the librarian in there, so at least you can get the one that give the extra attacks again.
Yeah, Unleash Rage.
Yeah, Unleash Rage, because that's just going to be really good. And if you can't get those extra attacks with like the Sanguinary and all that sort of stuff, then get them a different way. But yeah, I don't. If you're going to be 9 inches away anyway, yeah, I mean, to be fair though, because you're not Blood Angels. So you're playing Blood Angels with a handicap.
Yeah, that's the thing with Flesh Terrors. They're just not as good.
They're just not
so
as
good. You're really you're punished for wanting to do a cool successor chapter of it. You almost want, as a Flesh Terror player, you almost don't want any rules. You will go, no, I just use the Blood Angel rules. But
yeah, please.
Like a normal successor chapter, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're Nova Marines for the Ultramarines or whatever. And that, it sucks in that respect. However, like I love the Flesh Terrors, so for me, you know, as I said, it's a passion project, and actually if I could make them work, you know, I know that we're not quite as good as Blood Angels, but you know, if you can still win anyway,
it's
that's
cool.
really cool.
And also, but the pressure that you're going to be putting on is insane.
Yeah.
Also, the Invictors are amazing, as we've kind of already discussed.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, if you go first, they're going to hurt your opponent.
Yes.
And then you do have anti-tech, depending on how much screen they've got.
Well, the thing is, they have to deal with it.
And if you don't, that's me. If you don't go first, they're not getting you Incursors. They've got to kill 3 of them.
I mean, it's a high pressure army. Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, and then that also means that they're not getting your Death Company.
No.
You know what I mean? So you're giving yourself that breathing space. Yeah, I like it. I don't want to play it.
You don't?
No.
Well, you will be.
No.
You will be.
No, I don't want to. It's good. It's good. I think I'd still try and get the librarian in there instead of the chaplain.
I've got that list. I've got the list where I drop the librarian. Have the library. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that. I do. I get the chaplain because he's got. Does he have that litany that can give you +2 to your charm?
Yeah, that's what I've taken.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is huge.
It is huge because obviously I don't get the Blood Angel benefit,
which is the +1. but then you get +2.
But if I get the +2, that's enough.
That's better than Blood Angels.
But the problem is you just don't have a reliable way to, you know, to do that.
Yeah.
You just don't have it's a 3-up, and it's very easy to roll that 1 or 2.
Could you make it? Oh no, I'm assuming Blood Angels you can't make them the master ones, the master chaplains. No, you can't do that, can you? Don't know.
I don't know either. So look, that's it. That's my Flesh Terrors. So it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will do some really cool bits with them. I will do the Assault Dreadnoughts in drop pods and see some of those really cool iconic things. I'm going to try and find a way to mix in some firepower. What I kind of always want with an assault-based force is to have something like a Dreadnought that can fight and shoot. So you're sort of making the best of both rules.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Redemptor Dreadnoughts are just a little bit... I mean, they're not bad, actually, but they tend to die, I think. A little bit too easily, and the firepower doesn't. It's like the plasma isn't a good enough anti-tank, so you're kind of going. I could look to Forge World, of course, but whenever you look at something like a Leviathan, you almost always just want to go. Well, I just want 2 Hellstorm cannons.
Yeah. Be done with it.
Yeah. you know, I'll have a little look at what I can do in terms of bulking the force out. But I really like the idea of the Lucius pattern drop pods and using the Blood Angel dreadnoughts. I think that will look cool and provide some fun bits.
Yeah.
But look, that's that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Something to look forward to with the flesh terrors there. So until next time, this has been me, Lawrence, the Spider, and Bone, and we'll see you soon.